Welcome. My name is Olusegun Ogedengbe, a travel consultant. Everybody loves to travel. Everybody wants to take a step at a time to discover new places. Everybody desires to travel the world. In fact, it is part of the human nature to want to explore places that we've never been before, to want to do things that we've never done before, want to go with friends, want to travel with our family members, want to spread our wings and fly across the horizons from Africa to Europe to America to Australia, all over the world. Everyone has that innate thing to try. But you cannot fly without applying for a visa. The doors to every nation is locked by what we call a visa. So for you to discover the world, if you're from a part of Africa where you don't have when your passport is not strong enough, then you need to apply for visas. But then it is what it is. We are faced with rejections. Severally, we are faced with challenges. We apply over and over again and we get refused. And the point of making this video is to highlight some common mistakes that you can make in your applications, particularly for a UK visa application. And I will cite examples here and I will analyze them. Remember to like and share and follow this video so that you can get more updates from me as we go into it. So starting with, there's a client that applied for a visa, and at the point of application, some excuses were given as the reason why this visa was refused. And like I always say, there is never a visa refusal without an excuse. But then it is not all embassies that would give you full information on why this visa was refused. So let's delve into it. So UK said that reason for refusal. So they are one of the embassies that will give you the reason why your visa application was refused. And they said you have applied for a visa to visit the UK. In deciding whether you meet the requirements of Appendix 5 of the Immigration Rules for Visitor, and then they shared the link, said, I have considered 1. Your application and any additional relevant information you have provided with it, and your immigration history. Meaning that this particular decision was taken on two keynotes. The first thing is the application that was submitted and the relevant information that was provided, and then the immigration history of the applicant. Please stay with me. Remember to like and share this video. So let's go forward. So here is another instruction. It says your application for a visa to the United Kingdom has been refused. What this means for the applicant, it says any future UK visa applications you make will be considered on their individual merit. However, you are likely to be refused unless the circumstances of your application change. What is the lesson from here? I always say you can't apply severally with the same set of information. For you to have been refused, a reason has been established, and all you have to do is go back and make adjustments on the gray areas and the areas that has been refused and items that have been identified as reasons for your refusals, and make correction. So it says any future UK visa application you make will be considered on their individual merit. I want you to take note of this. Individual merit of the application. However, you're likely to be refused unless the circumstances of the application change. In relation to this decision, there is no right of appeal or right to administrative review, meaning that this decision that we are taking at this moment is sacrosanct, it is final, and you cannot appeal this decision. So now to the main body, the reason for the decisions are set out on the next page. So let us look at this reason. But before we get there, I want to give you a background story of my client. So this client is someone that is well-to-do, has 2 companies running or more, has a lot of money in the account. The account is running in the hundreds of the millions. All right. So what we did was we packaged this client, we helped him arrange his documents, and then we submitted to the application center for a visit visa. He was supposed to spend just about 10 days, and all our hopes were high that we're going to get this visa. But this applicant has been refused visa before, and we get into that. So note, this applicant has no travel history at all, has strong family ties because he's married, he has people in Nigeria, the family is based here in Nigeria, and this applicant does not have has strong economic viability, is well employed, has hundreds of millions of naira, but he has not traveled before. So let's get into these reasons. Okay, so the decision says I have refused the application for a visit visa because I am not satisfied that you meet the requirement of paragraph V4.2 of Appendix 5 Immigration Rules for Visitors because number 1, you state that you intend to come to the UK for 15 days, right? And 2, you state that you are self-employed with a net annual income of 21.6 million with the date exchange rate, that's about £9,000 at current exchange rate on Rwanda.com, and have savings of £9,500. You're supposed to spend 6 million naira, that's about £2,744, while in the UK your normal monthly expenditure is around 1 million naira, which is about £457.42. Now, one thing you will see here is that the exchange rate of the naira to the pounds greatly devalued the money that this man has. Now, let me make more clarity on the said applicant. So this man does not have, yes, he has several businesses, but he does not have a consistent payment of money into his account. So that means he does not pay himself salary every month. He just takes money from his business. He has some account where he puts in some savings, which is what has informed our decision to state how much that he earns per annum. Now, 21.6 million per annum is not small by any standard in Nigeria. But as this case may be, after conversion, the money became so insignificant as it were. So we always advise that as a business owner, try as much as possible to also put money into your account in terms of salary and pay yourself. Another reason why this application was refused is the fact that it said, I note that you have previously been denied entry clearance to the UK. Remember, they said every application is of its own merit, or it will be decided on its own. But this particular application, a strong reference was made to the man's previous application to UK that was refused. He said, I have reviewed your previous application and note that you stated in your application on the 4th of July 2023 that you had lived in your property in Kogi State for 13 years, yet in your current application it states that you have lived in your property in Abuja for 5 years. So the thing is, this man has 2 houses, one in Kogi and one in Abuja. The one in Kogi was used in the previous application. The one in Abuja was used in the new application. So they are saying that in your previous application just last year, you said you lived in Kogi, but this year now you say you've had this property in the last 5 years, which is true. The man has the properties in the last 5 years. So this is just a misunderstanding of information, but it is the original true circumstance of the said man. So furthermore, I note that on your current visa application, you failed to declare that you applied for a visa 3 times in 2023 as skilled worker partner under Appendix Skilled Worker of the Immigration Rule. This discrepancy casts doubt on the integrity of the information you have provided. Now, I believe this is the straw that finally broke the camel's back. Now, when you apply for a class of visa, immigration, which is like you are traveling permanently, you are saying, I'm interested to live in your country permanently. You have made that clear that you are interested to live permanently in the country, to the extent that you apply 3 times in one single year, which shows desperation, which shows that you are critical about it, like you really need it. Okay, now you've done that. Now you're saying you want to come visit for 15 days. For you to have initially applied for a relocation visa and you did it 3 times in 1 year, it casts a lot of doubt. So on this particular point, I'm afraid the consulars are right. It casts doubt. So if you have been traveling for vacation, if you want to get a visa to a developed country, go on vacation. If you've been traveling for work, if you are going to a new place, go on work. It's important that we all maintain consistency in our visa application, and this is the major error of this particular application. So they also said that you have submitted information about your business and personal bank statement. However, I am unable to locate confirmation of transfers from a business account to a personal account to confirm you derive an income as stated. It is also not clear how you have calculated your annual income. So because the man does not keep a consistent payment to himself, even as the owner of the business, as the MD or CEO, it's difficult to track how much he's making from this business. So this is to all business owners. If you have your account, always ensure that you pay yourself a monthly salary out of your business for travel purpose. It's key. Then finally, they said, I note that Sotoso Limited has a status of inactive with Corporate Affairs Commission. The information does not confirm that the business is trading or that the company is running at a profit and is financially stable, which raises concern regarding the source of income and funding of your visit. Now, this is not true because we did the due diligence to make sure that the companies are active. Every company owned by this man, we made it up to date with Corporate Affairs Commission. So this statement of it does not tally, they didn't check, I have a feeling that they didn't check it. The consular didn't check it, because if they've checked it, they will have seen that the companies actually match, and they are active companies that have paid up all their dues with the federal government, because we submitted tax clearance, we submitted every necessary document that is needed. But all in all, it's about balance of probability. The decision for any visa is a balance of probability, and on the balance of probability, this particular application has been found wanting. And finally, it says the factor mentioned above have not been taken in isolation but considered collectively, meaning that we looked at how much you have in your bank account, we looked at your family ties, we looked at your travel purpose, we looked at your travel history, we considered your previous applications. So these decisions are not made in isolation, they are made holistically. He said, but considered collectively. They damage the overall credibility of your application from the information on your application form and the documents you have submitted. I am not satisfied that you intend to leave the United Kingdom or that you are genuinely seeking entry as a visitor. Your application is therefore refused. I can tell you for a fact that this applicant does not have any reason to want to run away or overstay. He will never do that. He has so much that is going on here, and that is the story of a whole lot of us. We are credible, but we are not getting visas. We have good plans, we have good purposes, we have good intentions, but we are not getting the visas. So the whole goal of this channel or this series is for you to be able to make amendments, gather more information when you are applying for your own visa. As you've seen, it is based on the balance of probability that these decisions are made, and it is important that your application is able to convince the consular or the visa officer that is handling your job. So in summary, for this application, always ensure that you are consistent with your address. Always ensure that as a business person, you pay yourself salary from your business. Always ensure that your travel purpose aligns with your previous travel history. And if you can put all of this together, I believe that you get a higher chances of getting your visa. Please remember to like and share. Follow me and subscribe for more videos. Have a lovely day.